Hey again. So I already have shown you how to visualize tree data using D3 and Vega Lite. So the best tool for that will be D3, but as if you have seen the video for that one, you will see that it's a little bit complicated. So you can do some tree visualizations with Tableau. So let's, at least for circle packing and tree maps, so let's try to use the same data. This is data that includes the 311 phone calls from the city of Berkeley. It's 500,000 records, as you can see in here. And then the nice thing about Observable is that if you go to the cell that is defining that data, then you can right click here, and if the data is a table, you can download it as a CSV. And if not, then you can download it as JSON. So I actually just downloaded that. And let me show you that in Finder in here. And I just open Tableau. So I'm going to put that in here. And then when you do that, Tableau is quite good, especially since I gave it like the CSV version, getting like what are all the attributes that are in there. It even catch this date, which is quite cool. And then we can get started with that. So this data, it contains, as I said, calls. So if you want to see, for instance, the number of calls, this will be the total number of calls is 500,000. And then from there, let's say that you want to start showing like a tree map. So a tree map, it's a visualization when you use marks as rectangles. And then you use the size as the number of items or another aggregated attribute. Since we don't have an aggregated attribute that you can aggregate in here, so we are going to use the size. And then the way of doing that in Tableau is that we drag the number of records here into size. And then you have to start saying how to build the hierarchy. So the normal way you will do that, like, and to use exactly the same one we use in the other one, you can just drag the object type. And then after getting the object type, usually what you will do is something like this. And then, and actually that will be a hierarchical visualization, kind of. It will be something like this. It makes more sense to put it like this, do this, and then sort a little bit. You can see that it's actually not sorting overall. It's actually only sorting inside. And if you want to change that, it's a little bit more tricky. But for the moment, this will be like our first. Like this is kind of like indented, like 3-bar chart or something like that. So if we want to go and create a tree map, so you can, I think you might be able just to click here, but let's do it from scratch. So instead of doing this, what you can do is just put this in here into the details. So just by dragging that in there, you can put it into the details. The order that you use is very important. And then move this out of the columns into the circles, and voila, you have a tree map. So as you can see, it's very easy. Depending on how you want to color code, you can put, like, for instance, the request category in here. And then doing that, it gets nice coloring by group. If you want to also see the labels, you can see that as well. Just drag those and use Command in Mac and I think Shift on Windows to add like the elements that you want to see. And then you will get like not only the first level, the second level, and the elements. If instead of using the request category, you want to use the object type for the color, same thing. So just do it like this. And then doing that, I think now you can identify there are certain things that are repeated. Oh yes, so this is like property, it's using that as first. And by the way, like it changes like the order that you put. Actually, it's like this is, you can change the order and then say, for instance, I want first request category and then object type. Or, so it's very important, like the order that you have things in here is how things are going to be grouped. So as you can see, it's doing that. Like the one that we did on Vega Lite, I think it was the opposite. So it will be something like this. So if you put it like that, and then if I want to color code by request category, but just making sure that my request category is the last one, then you get something like this. That is closer to what we had in here, if this is still working. That it's something more like these ones that we have. Like the order, it's changing because the sorting, and we forgot to change that in there. So this will be the first one. And then the other one that you can use, let's see if I can remember how to do this one. I think it's just a matter of changing this. There we go. And it's kind of like a circular tree map, like the one we did in the other one. It's grouping by the 2 elements, but the problem is that it's not showing them as groups, as D3 will do I think, in the ugly one that we have in here. So like these nested circles, I think is not possible in Tableau, but you can create that. Like the final way of doing these things in Tableau, it's like, let's say this is a bubble chart or something like that. And then the final way will be to use the tree to actually do the calculations and then come in here and then use those for placing nodes. I think at the very least it will be possible. Let's try that really quickly. For instance, for doing this, I haven't tried that. So if it doesn't work, don't kill me. Just forget that I did this. I'm not going to edit the video, so I'm too lazy. So actually what you want, it's like I'm actually going to use this, the stripped tree data. I'm going to download that as a CSV and then put that on a desktop so it doesn't get confusing. And then I'm going to open that in here on Finder, drag that into Tableau. Hope I can put it here into the table. So will that create a new one? No, it's actually creating a new data set. That's what I want. So I'm going to go here and create a new sheet. Now I have two data sets. So this is my strip data. And I can use this for X. If I could draw, then X and Y, I think columns should be X, the other one should be Y. And then you just say, I don't want aggregate measures. And then we have our tree. Look at that. If you want to create the links as well, I wonder if stripping the other one, I'm not going to risk going into that because I haven't tried it. So this one, it's something that I still haven't mastered. So, but at the very least, you can see now that you have the nodes. You can start just removing things from here. I think like the format, and then here, for instance, if you don't want grid lines, perfect. You can also hide this thing like this and that, and you can make the nodes bigger, and probably we can take the name and put it here as well. Beautiful. So it's actually showing the names only of the ones that it can show. And you can change the shape as well as you want, something like this. So the interesting thing about this is that you could be even doing like, for instance, a radial representation. So as you can see, actually a lot of people do things like this. And you're going to see when we create maps with Tableau, if you want to create a grid map on Tableau, this is the way you do it. You calculate the grids outside, and then you come and show those in here. So hopefully this will help you creating some tree visualizations on Tableau. Thank you very much.